special news report.
Good afternoon. The Soviet Union announced it had launched Sputnik number 2 today, carrying a live dog. This is reportedly history's first space travel.
There is no need to worry. We can assume that the space dog will return safely back to Earth without any complications.
In the cold street of Moscow, a lonely dog named Kudryavka was looking for food. As a stray dog, she did not care where her food came from, only that it could fill her stomach and get her through another day. Her nose had been fine-tuned by years on the street and could find any kind of food. All she had to do was follow the scent. The fence was too high for Kudryavka to jump. Maybe something nearby could help her cross this broken fence. Now that she was in the park, she had to sniff her way to the food hidden somewhere in this area. There was hardly any meat left on the bone, and definitely not enough to fill her stomach. Kudryavka had to continue her search elsewhere. It was nearing winter, and as it got colder, Kudryavka's stomach was growling like never before. She was willing to eat almost anything to stay alive. The trash can was probably filled with scraps that would keep her going, at least for a while, if only she could find a way to tip it over. All her rummaging around had attracted the dog catcher. If he got his hands on her, it would all be over. Somebody had left a plate full of bilashi on the windowsill. Kudryavka knew they were not hers to take, but she had to eat. There was no more food to be found. She had to continue onwards.
I see you, Suka.
Her tail between her legs, Kudryavka was now running for her life. The dog cager was right behind her.
I see you, Suka. I see you, Suka. I see you, Suka. Come here, dog.
The first snow had slowly begun to fall. Kudryavka knew that before long everything would be covered in a thick layer of cold snow. She would no longer be able to just live off the scraps. Those rats looked fat enough to make for a proper meal, but they were still too fast for her. If only she could find a way to trap it. Not much food in the rat after all, mostly bones and nasty fur. And since the rest of the craters had scattered it while Kudryavka was eating their comrade, she would have to. This alley was full of pigeons. A particularly fat one caught Kudryavka's eye, but she would never be able to sneak upon it out in the open. All feathers and bones. Kudryavka was still hungry. How would she ever survive the winter? Winter had really set in. The mysterious man had disappeared, but he had given Kudryavka food, and now she was determined to track him down. The scent of the man had led her to this place, and there on the ground was the man's hat. She was definitely on the right track. A strong wind took hold of the hat and blew it over the fence. The fence had a hole in it, big enough for Kudryavka to pass through, but it was blocked by a huge pile of snow. That pesky hat! It was stuck on a large statue. How was she going to get to it now? The scent of the hat led to the other side of the road. How a hat could flow right through the storm? Kudryavka had no idea. But the wind was so strong here, she needed something to shelter her.
I see you, suka.
Finally! This was where the nice man lived. She was sure of it. What marvelous time awaited her. She could only dream.